Welcome to People-Based Solutions' new series of daily bite-sized webinars, the first of which will be looking at the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme. The aim is to provide employers with the key information they need in order to navigate the scheme and make the best decisions for their business and for their workforce in these difficult times. Each webinar takes up less than 6 minutes of your time. That's just enough time to enjoy your morning coffee. Each day we'll cover a different aspect of the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme under the headings shown here. Over the week, this will build into a comprehensive information resource which we hope you will find useful. I'll start by giving a brief overview of the scheme and how it works. This will include which organisations can claim under the scheme, the categories of employee that are covered, and what you can claim for. So what exactly is the Coronavirus Job Retention Scheme? It's a government scheme that provides financial assistance to employers whilst they are unable to offer their staff work because of the current coronavirus situation. It will help them retain their employees for an extended period of time and hopefully to avoid redundancies. Under the scheme, employers will need to designate affected employees as furloughed workers, and they must notify their employees of this change in writing. To furlough essentially means putting employees on temporary leave of absence where they do not work but are retained to be brought back in when they're needed. The scheme will enable employers to apply for a grant towards the wages paid to furloughed staff from the 1st of March until the end of June, although this could be extended further. The grant will cover 80% of furloughed employees' wages to a maximum of £2,500 per employee per month. Employees can be moved in and out of furlough on a 3-week basis or longer. The scheme is open to all UK employers as long as they have created and shared a PAYE payroll scheme on or before the 28th of February 2020 and they have a UK bank account. This includes businesses, charities, recruitment agencies with agency workers who are paid through PAYE, and in some instances it will also cover public authorities. Where a company is being taken under the management of an administrator, the administrator will be able to access the job retention scheme. With regard to employers who receive public funds, the government does not expect the scheme to be widely used by public sector employers, as these employees will continue to provide essential public services or contribute to the response to the coronavirus outbreak. Organisations that receive extra public funding specifically to provide services to respond to the pandemic are also not expected to furlough their staff. This may include the manufacturers of urgently needed medical equipment, for example. In addition, businesses who continue to receive public funds for staff costs, which may include some non-public sector employers, are expected to use that public money to continue to pay their staff in the usual way, and therefore their staff will not be furloughed. Employers may furlough and claim grant for any member of staff who was paid through their payroll system on the 28th of February 2020. This therefore includes full-time and part-time employees and workers, and also covers agency workers as long as they have a contract and are not currently working at all. It does not, however, cover 0-hour contracts or casual workers unless they are being paid through the PAYE system. In addition, self-employed workers are not covered by the scheme. Anyone placed on payroll after the 28th of February but before the 19th of March can also now be placed on furlough. This is provided that the HMRC have been notified of their addition to the payroll on or before the 19th of March. Anyone added after this date can't be furloughed by their new employer unless there has been a qualifying TUPE transfer. The government has made it clear that any employee or worker who was on an employer's payroll on or before the 28th of February but made redundant, laid off or stopped working for the employer before the 19th of March can be re-engaged by that employer and then put on furlough. The employer is then able to claim grant for that employee. Government guidance to business makes it clear that the scheme is intended to cover those who would otherwise have been laid off or potentially made redundant as a result of the current coronavirus crisis. Therefore, the scheme should only be accessed by employers if they cannot cover their staff costs as a result of disruption caused directly by COVID-19. To be eligible for the subsidy, it's important to remember that an employee who is furloughed cannot undertake work of any kind for their employer or on behalf of their organisation. This includes providing services or generating revenue. Staff who are furloughed can, however, still attend training. If an employee is still working but may be on reduced hours or for reduced pay, they will not be eligible for the furloughing scheme, and the employer will still have to continue to pay their wages. As a final note, employers should be aware that the government has said that it retains the right to retrospectively audit all aspects of the scheme and will look to claw back any fraudulent or erroneous claims that it finds.